Niniejszy kurs został opracowany w ramach projektu TEFFIC, finansowanego z programu Erasmus+ i udostępniony do tłumaczenia i celów edukacyjnych w projekcie Nauczyciel 4.0, realizowanym przez Fundację Platforma Przemysłu Przyszłości oraz International Development Norway ze środków programu Edukacja i norweskich mechanizmów finansowych.
Welcome to the seventh element in the TEFFIC series of pedagogical elements, supporting the training for Industry 4.0. In the last video, we studied the specific factors which are important for forming successful student teams for learning Industry 4.0 aspects by solving learning tasks. In this video, we will concentrate on the importance of feedback and reflection in the learning process. Quality and quantity of feedback during the learning process have direct implications for the learning outcome. This is a principle that has been proven in a wealth of research. In TEFFIC, we've elected to build on results from clinical medical education. The reason for this is that the importance of feedback and induction of reflection in the students is extensively used as learning tools in this profession, and the conditions of the clinical learning arena is comparable to the laboratories for Industry 4.0 learning. At first, we will concentrate on the principles of feedback during the learning process. This may be done in many ways in a laboratory setting, but we can distinguish three broad categories. The first is brief feedback, which is done in a practical situation where the educators have a dialogue with the student. For example, where the students study a part of a practical installation or are doing fault finding on a laboratory model. This may have the form of showing the students effective ways to achieve the goals they are pursuing, or ask simple questions to guide the students in a fruitful direction. The second category, formal feedback, is done when a meeting is planned for giving prepared and structured feedback. This may be done in writing but can also be done orally. A sound or video recording can be used for documentation if needed. Formal feedback in a physical meeting is done in private between the student and the educator. The last category, major feedback, is normally given at the midpoint of the course or learning process. This is done in a formal fashion, in a meeting, and is often supported by written feedback. So what is then the difference between feedback and assessment? It is a somewhat blurred area between these two, but in general you can say that feedback is designed to help the students to improve by suggesting alternative strategies or methods for the task at hand. Assessment is designed to tell the student how he or she has performed. Certain principles of given feedback is developed and can be helpful. First, work as an ally of the student. Set a time. Major feedback should not take the student by surprise. Have a mutual agreement on time and place. Ask for feedback on your own performance. Have the student give an assessment of his or her performance, self-feedback, before giving one's opinion. Use well-defined, mutually agreed upon goals as a guide for the student's performance and as a subject of feedback. Second, based feedback on observed incidents and not on modifiable behaviours. Give feedback on specific behaviours, not general performance. Give feedback on decisions and actions, not on one's interpretation of the student's motives. Subjective data should be labelled as such. Third, give feedback in small, digestible quantities. And fourth, use language that is non-evaluative and non-judgmental. Feedback and reflection are closely connected subjects, as the first can lead to the second if properly conducted. Reflection is defined as a thought, an idea or opinion formed, or a remark made as a result of mediation. In learning theory, reflection integrates a concept or a combination of skills, knowledge, attitude and values with the learner's cognitive framework. This gives way to an assimilation and reordering or reworking of the concepts, skills, knowledge and/or values into pre-existing knowledge structures. Some have said that the difference between a professional and a technician is that the professional knows the larger context of his or her work and uses this knowledge for lifelong learning, as opposed to the technician, whose knowledge is limited to performing specific tasks. Others have shown that physiological growth occurs only when reflection is a component of an educational program. 3 factors may prove important for successful use of reflection in a laboratory setting, all concerning the educator. First, the educator is a good role model. Second, the educator has the trust of the students. And third, the educator has the skills to facilitate reflection. Timing is important to initiate fruitful reflections in the students. The right questions asked in the right situation may trigger reflections that lead to understanding of concepts. The way to facilitate reflections resembles interviewing skills. You listen to the students and you pick up on clues to their thoughts and feelings, and you follow up with open-ended questions such as, "What did you mean by that?" or "How can you apply this in a job situation?" or just "What did you learn from this?" Often, this will open a wealth of reflections that will provide even the educator with new and important insights. As mentioned before, feedback and reflection can be done in a complementary fashion. Well-formulated feedback should lead to a reflective process in the students, giving insights and understanding. Remember Plutarch's words, "The mind is not a vessel to be filled, but a fire to be ignited." After you have finished this video, take some time to reflect and find solutions to this task. Find 5 questions that can direct feedback and promote reflections with the students. In our next TEFFIC paper, we will look at the supervision and organisation of online learning.